This is Frank Islam, Chairman and CEO of FY Investment Group and your host of Washington Current Review, where we interview leading voices from business and politics that impact you, the viewer. Today, our guest is Dr. Sanjay Rai, who's the Provost and the Vice President of Montgomery College, located in Germantown. Sanjay and I share a common heritage, and he's a constant source of inspiration to all of us. He's going to talk about the role of community college, especially the Montgomery College in Maryland, which is one of the most important community colleges in this country. He's going to talk about how to create workforce that we need in America to move forward in terms of our economy, in terms of spurring economic growth, and so on. So welcome to our show, Sanjay. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to come to your set and connect with your viewers.
Sanjay, tell us a little bit about your background and what do you do for Montgomery College and your responsibility and role.
Yeah, so my story is similar to the story of many immigrants in this country.
You came from humble beginning.
I came
like
from
myself.
Yes, just like you.
But from a distinguished family.
Yes, distinguished family, very humble background. I was raised in India. My father was a steel factory worker who didn't have an opportunity to go to high school. I came to this country. I got my master's and a doctorate, and just that the fate will have it that I had an opportunity to come to Montgomery College, one of the premier community college in the country, and come as a dean, and now I serve as a vice president and provost of our Germantown campus. So, son of a factory worker, working as a vice president and a provost of one of the leading institution of higher education in this country, I think it talks about promise of America and opportunity and freedom.
It tells you about the, not necessarily obviously the promise of American dream, and also tells you that if you aim high, if you work hard, you should be able to pursue your dream.
Exactly.
And that's the strengths and values of America, which is inclusiveness and openness, that we should all truly and proudly embrace, and which is what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about your role and responsibility of this wonderful college that I admire so much.
Well, exactly. So Montgomery College is Maryland's largest and oldest community college. We have about 60,000 students.
That's a lot of students.
It's a lot of students, and we are the largest undergraduate enrollment institution in the state of Maryland. Until a couple of years ago, University of Maryland College Park was the largest institution. Now we have surpassed.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what kind of role, what's your responsibility at the Montgomery College, being a provost and vice president? Tell us a little bit of audience, what your role is.
Well, I am the vice president and provost for our Germantown campus.
Okay.
So I am the chief executive officer, chief academic officer for the campus.
Okay.
So I have responsibility at that campus for more than 7,000 students. Some of the very important programs at that campus, biotechnology and cybersecurity, those two flagship industries for the state of Maryland. We have very good programs in those two areas, and then we have a general education program and programs in every other areas. So I looked after those programs. Then my second responsibility at the campus is that we have a life sciences park coming up at our campus.
Yeah, I know. You are working with one of the hospitals, if I remember correctly, right?
Exactly. So
which hospital? Holy Cross.
Holy Cross.
Yes,
Hospital.
wonderful thing to do.
They are our anchor tenants.
Okay.
Then we also have a Germantown Innovation Center run by Montgomery County's Department of Economic Development. So we have about 25 high-tech and biotechnology companies right at our campus, where CEOs from these companies give guest lectures in our classrooms. Our students get internship opportunities in those classrooms.
So you have what I consider a partnership between the college and the employer.
Exactly.
So you're creating today's students for tomorrow's job and today's job.
Yes.
That's a wonderful thing to do, and I think that's the right thing to do for community college. That's something lacking, by the way, in a lot of universities. So Montgomery College is playing a very important role.
So we narrow the gap.
Good.
Between classroom and industry, and we try to produce work-ready students.
Great. Now, as you probably know, the trend is basically going to Montgomery, to the community college, not to the university. Not everybody can go to the university. So why so many undergraduate going to start their education in community college? What attracts them?
Okay. So first of all, some facts about community colleges.
Besides, it's a little bit cheaper than going to the university, right, Sanjay?
Yeah, yes. Let me say that there are about 13 million students enrolled in our community colleges across the nation.
Across this country?
Across this country.
Wow.
That's 44% of entire undergraduate population is at community colleges. And there are about 1,200 community colleges. Why is it that the students are coming to community colleges? First, academic accessibility. So everyone who comes out of high school is not coming with perfect SAT score. We have a lot of students, they have some room to cover. So community colleges provide that support. Then we are geographically accessible. In Montgomery County, we have 4 presence: Germantown, Rockville, Tacoma Park, and Gaithersburg. So we are geographically accessible. Of course, affordability is an issue. You said you saw President Obama in his last State of the Union address talking about cost of higher education. Community colleges keep the cost down.
So you make it more affordable, and accessible.
Accessible. But at the same time, we keep the quality.
Yes, and that's very important.
So we have high quality and then smaller classrooms. We have highly educated faculty, and they only teach. They do not have the pressure of publishing and bringing grants.
So that's a good point. So they don't have to do research.
Research, yes.
So they can dedicate themselves fully to the welfare of the college as well as the students, so they can teach full time in a sense. They don't have to divert their attention to the, as you said,
exactly,
about publishing papers, which is a good thing to do. Yeah. Now, I went there not too long ago, and thank you very much for inviting me to speak to your wonderful students. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And before I spoke, there was something about the STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, Math panel, which is and they were there. Chris Van Hallen was there, and the former CEO of Lockheed Martin, which Norman Augustine, was there. Tell me a little bit about what kind of things you involve and engage in the STEM education in your community college, which is at Montgomery College, which is very important these days for America as we move forward with America.
Yeah, so you have rightly pointed out, STEM education is very important for our country. 16% of college graduates in our country are graduating in STEM areas. In China, that's 47%.
And India?
India is probably 38% or somewhere.
It's still pretty high compared to us.
But remember, 47% of a larger number in China.
That's a true statement.
So that's why we have to, we are in globalized knowledge-based economy. So STEM is a very important area. We have to, just in Maryland, every year we have about 6,000 STEM jobs. We produce about 4,000. So Governor O'Malley is doing wonderful things to narrow that gap. So at Montgomery College, we have an engineering program, largest engineering transfer program in the nation, about 1,200 students. So students come from all backgrounds. Some of them come to us who are not completely prepared to excel in engineering, but with the support at the college, they excel. They go to University of Maryland, Georgia Tech, some even to MIT and Princeton. And they go there and they perform as well as the native students. So community colleges play a very important role in STEM education, but also you see our nation's demography is changing. In 1980, 81% of undergraduate students were whites. Now it's 60%.
We have the population has shifted in terms of the minority population in this country, and obviously we embrace the diversity and democracy of our country. We cherish those.
Definitely.
But tell me, what do we need to do to energize, to excite, inspire some of these students to go to STEM education? I mean, that's very important to us because of the fact that we cannot find the skilled workforce in the STEM, in the science, technology, engineering, math. So tell us what we need to do as a parent or as a professor, as a dean, to make sure they pursue the STEM education.
I think it's very important. The importance of education needs to be emphasized, and within that,
from the parents, from the beginning, from K-12 education,
from K through 12. I think
very well said.
I think that interest in STEM education is created very, very early. So by the time students in high school is kind of late. So
good point.
Elementary school and middle school becomes very important, and we need to expose the students in science in a very engaging and interesting way, not in a boring way where you write formulas on the board or something. No
So
one
we need to
gets
create
excited.
a leader, not that people just memorize that to basically pass the exam.
Yeah.
Well, let me shift something there. The President Obama said many times, and President Obama has been a champion of community colleges, you know, and he talks about the focus, the role of community colleges in our country's economy. And please tell us the relationship between the community colleges and the global economy.
Extremely important community colleges and global economy. We are very honored and proud to receive a grant from U.S. State Department's Bureau of South and Central Asia Division, where we went to India and we did a symposium in India. We brought businesses, government, and NGOs, and we introduced
NGO stands for
non-governmental organization.
I just wanted to make sure the audience knew
exactly.
that. Okay.
To introduce U.S. community college model. This model is, it provides accessible, affordable, and meaningful education.
Good way to put it.
So that created a lot of interest in India. And in global economy and globalized world, I think the difference between what was happening in Cold War was all about competition. Global economy
is now a partnership.
It's collaboration.
And collaboration.
Yes, so
and a partnership. Very well said. So I want to take a segue. You talk about India. I mean, you went to India not too long ago. You told me about that. Tell me about the interaction that occurred between between the college, Montgomery College, with the Indian educators. And I admire the Indian educators. So tell us about that so that our audience would know.
I think India, as you know, has a strong, it has a serious challenge of providing post-secondary education. So they have to provide. They have about 600 million young people.
600 million young people out of the population 1.2 million
under the age of 25. So right now, the post-secondary education has capacity of about 13 million.
Oh my God! So they gotta have a lot of colleges there.
Yeah, either a lot of colleges or a model of higher education similar to community colleges that can provide that type of education. And community college is a natural fit for them. So I think India needs an affordable and accessible higher education system. We have that. So that could be one of our exports to India.
So they can use this as a model?
As a model, and we can help them implement the model. We can help them train their faculty, or we can help them develop a curriculum that fits their environment.
So we need to tap upon those resources.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people over there.
Yeah.
They want to go to school, and the school doesn't exist. Okay. Tell us a little bit about what do you anticipate the Montgomery College India initiative will lead us?
Yeah. So of course, as you saw, India has challenge, and we have a model. So it's a perfect synergy where we can work together to address their situation. For us, we are benefiting in many ways. Secretary Clinton has come up with the Passport to India initiative. That's an internship program for U.S. students to go and do internships in India. And I must add that it's all privately funded. No taxpayer funding is involved.
Is that right?
Yes. It's all funded by U.S. companies and Indian companies who are interested in this type of
partnership and relationship. Wow. And how many students are going from United States to this internship, and how many students coming from India to United States?
I think it's just started.
So it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. But India has a challenge. India is the highest importer of higher education. Indians spend $1 billion a year.
But they're the second largest. They provide the second largest students in the United States after China,
yes.
As I understand.
Yes. Well, that's about $1 billion of U.S. economy.
We need more people coming to from India.
We need more people coming from India, but we also need access to Indian higher education market. So our universities have a market in India. So the Indian government has to allow foreign direct investment in higher education. That will help India. That will help our institutions. That will help everyone.
I hope they do. I know that our relationship with India is headed in the positive direction, but we do have some obstacles and challenges. And I think that we both share a common interest and common values. And And I think things are headed in the positive direction as I see it.
I think that's definitely true. Secretary Clinton was in India just a few weeks ago.
Yes, she was.
And there's a discussion about FDI in the retail sector.
Yes, you're talking about the Walmart things.
Well, and others as well. And I think they need FDI. If that goes, it helps the businesses here. Or FDI in Indian infrastructure can give billions of dollars of businesses to U.S. companies. But the same states where Secretary went, for in connection with the FDI in retail sector, those are the same states interested in community colleges. So if their need is community college, our need is FDI in retail.
So it's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about you went with the Governor of Mali.
Yes.
To the state mission to India. Tell us what it was all about. What was achieved, and what were the deliverables? And I'm very interested in terms of the mission that you guys took and you went with the Governor of Mali. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. So first of all, Governor O'Malley was a great statesman for the state of Maryland and for our country. I mean, he was really good on this mission. We signed a two-state sister states agreement. One with Andhra Pradesh, where a lot
that's a state that's a province.
Southern India.
Okay.
Where a lot of IT-related development is happening.
Yes. Is it that Hyderabad located in Andhra Pradesh? Hyderabad is the hub of the IT.
And that's where we were there. And then second with Maharashtra in Mumbai.
Yeah.
And about $60 million of deals were signed.
$60 million.
$60 million. So U.S. business, Maryland businesses signed a $60 million deal, and that number keeps increasing. So I met a company in Rockville, Maryland that was on the mission. They got contracts to build roads in several parts of India, roads, town centers. So they are creating jobs in Maryland by having this kind of businesses in India.
I totally agree. We need that investment from India. We need that kind of a commerce. We need the tourists coming from India to our country, thus creating a job and spreading economic growth in our country. So what you're doing is a great thing. So we appreciate that very much, and thank you for all your hard work and your leadership in education arena. And thank you for coming to our show.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you taking the time to come and talk to us.
Thank you.
That is our show. This is Frank Islam wishing you a great week. Thank you very much for watching.